Hi, I'm Mrs. Finney. I'm going to just go through a little bit of information with you about modern foreign languages and what the exam components are for this exam, and talk to you a little bit about what you can do to support your child. So first of all, it's a GCSE course and it is examined by the AQA exam board. Now, there have been a few changes this year. We're still waiting for some of them to be confirmed, but I'm just going to go through with you the skills that we absolutely know about and tell you a little bit about the one that we're just waiting for confirmation on. So there are 4 skills which are usually tested by an exam at foundation or higher level. So starting off with the listening and reading exams. These are a short exam between 45 minutes to 60 minutes, and they contain a range of questions and short written answers. Some of those can be choosing from a list. Some of them are choose whether it's a positive or negative opinion. Some of them might be completing a sentence, but they do have a range of different types, and we practice those in class. The second part of the exam is section B questions, where we have questions and answers in the foreign language. Same types of questions, but just that the actual questions that the students will be reading will be in French or Spanish rather than in English. And finally, on the reading paper, we also have a short translation from French or Spanish into English. And the key to really being successful in both of these exams, in the listening and the reading, is knowing your vocabulary. I always say to students, if you don't know the words, then you are not going to be able to pass. So the more vocabulary they know, the more of the exam they're going to be able to access, and the better that is going to be, and obviously the better the grade. The speaking, we are still waiting for final information from the exam board. Students normally do a speaking exam. This year they won't be doing that, and we're told that this will be based on classroom assessment, and students will be assessed by their classroom teacher in line with a set of criteria, and we understand that they will be graded at distinction, merit or pass. And as soon as we do have further information on that, we will be sharing that with students and explain to them what they need to be doing. The writing exam is a 60-minute exam at foundation and 75 minutes at higher. In the foundation paper, they need to write 4 basic sentences based on a photograph stimulus, and the best way to do that, we drill into them, is just to say there is an item of vocabulary, or it is an item of vocabulary. It's essentially, that part of the exam is essentially a vocabulary test. After that, they have to translate 5 sentences from English into French or Spanish. They then have a 40-word writing task. This is 4 bullet points, so it works out at around about 10 words per bullet point, and they need to just write a very short sentences. We encourage students to just give a positive or negative opinion about the bullet point and a reason why. So for example, in English, if it said holiday accommodation, you could write, I like the holiday accommodation because it is big. Or they could give something a little bit more specific. I like the hotel because there is a swimming pool. Following on from that, they have a 90-word writing task. Again, 4 bullet points. This is the same for the higher, and there is a present tense bullet point. There's a bullet point asking them to give opinions and reasons. There is a future tense bullet point and a past tense bullet point. So the more that students practice their key verbs in the different tenses, the easier this is going to be. We do a lot of practice on this in class, and in the run-up to praise and stars assessments and in the run-up to the final exam. On the higher paper, they start off with a 90-word writing, and they follow that up with a 150-word writing where they have 2 bullet points. One of these is usually in the present tense in French, and the second bullet point can be in the past or future. In Spanish, find that the first bullet point is usually in the past tense, and then the second bullet point could be in the future or the present, depending on the question. And at the end of that exam, they have a translation from English into French or Spanish. Now, normally on both of these exams, for the 90-word and for the 150-word, there are a choice of 2 questions. So 2 questions for the 90 word, 2 questions for the 150 word. What the exam board have done this year is just to allow students a greater opportunity to write about something they feel confident on, because they may not have covered all the topics with having been out of school during lockdown. What the exam boards have said that they're going to do is, first of all, they are going to give a choice of 3. So each of the 90 words on the foundation and both the high and the higher, they will have a choice of 3 questions. And on the 150 word writing, there will also be a choice of 3 questions. I forgot to mention on the listening and reading that the exam board have also agreed that they will not be using 10% of words which aren't on the curriculum as they normally do. So they will be sticking very much to language which is already being given to students via the specification. In terms of being successful in modern languages, it's absolutely key that that students are learning the vocabulary on a weekly basis, and we do test them. They can do this in a variety of ways. I'll come on to those in a second. They also need to be learning their grammar. They need to have a wide range of past tense, present tense, future tense verbs that they can use. They also need to know how to use adjective endings correctly, and they need to know how to use the more complex phrases in their writing and speaking. They can do this via revising on LanguageNet, which is a new package that we've bought and we're trying out this year. All students have been given their login details, and we can upload language which is specific to them and specific to questions or complex verbs, complex phrases, etc. They can also use Quizlet. They can use Cram, and there are other things available online such as BBC Bitesize, which also has listening, speaking, reading, writing activities. Students are encouraged to attend intervention sessions after school. In languages, these are usually run on a Friday. We also have the luxury of having the director in to work with students after school. Often this is targeted, but students are able to attend sessions even if they're not invited. Students need to prepare thoroughly for the writing exam. We do this in class, but they also need to be doing revision in their own time, and they need to be practicing their exam technique. The key, though, is really for students to believe that they can do it. Often they think that they can't, but we practice and practice and practice. We do lots of activities in class, encouraging students and showing them just what they can do. So the more they believe in themselves, the better this is going to be. And I'm sure that our students are going to do really, really well this year. Thank you, and bye from me.